You didn't blow your retirement on a bad stock. You didn't lose it gambling. You lost it doing things you were told were normal. Things everyone around you still does without thinking twice. Nobody warns you about these because nobody wants to be the person who says, "That's a financial decision, not a tradition." So I will. 10 traditions, every single one defended as worth it by someone in your family right now. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what they cost you in retirement, and you're going to have to decide if you still think they're worth it. I'm not telling you to skip anything. I'm telling you what it's actually costing you to pretend it doesn't matter. And one of these 10 might be the dumbest thing humans have ever invented. I'm sure most of you will agree. It's coming in at number 3, so stick around. Number 10, the birthday party escalation. Bounce house rental, a hired entertainer, a custom cake that costs more than your first car payment, a goodie bag budget that's somehow bigger than your own childhood parties combined. National averages put a single kid's birthday party north of $500. Now multiply that by every year from age 1 to 18. One party a year, no skipped years, because skipping looks cheap, and nobody wants to be the parent who skips. That's over $9,000 spent on birthday parties across one childhood, per kid. If you have 2 kids, you just spent an entire car in cash, not on the car, on cake and inflatable castles and a magician who does the same 6 tricks at every party in your town. You don't remember your own 7th birthday party. Your kid won't remember theirs either. What they'll remember is whether you were relaxed and present, not whether there was a chocolate fountain in the backyard. And here's the trap inside the trap. None of this is driven by your kid. 5-year-olds don't ask for a hired entertainer. They ask for cake and their friends. The escalation comes from watching what the other parents post on social media and matching it quietly, one birthday at a time, until keeping up becomes the actual tradition, and the birthday party is just the excuse. Number 9, travel sports. Club fees, travel uniforms, hotel rooms for tournaments 3 states away, gas money, fast food on the road, and private coaching sessions squeezed in between seasons because everyone else's kid has a private coach too. Families report spending anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a year per kid once travel leagues get involved, and plenty of families spend more than that without noticing because it comes in small pieces instead of one big bill. Do that for 8 years of a kid's competitive run, and you're easily past $20,000 for one kid in one sport. Nobody questions this spending because it's wrapped in a story about opportunity, scholarships, college recruiters sitting in the bleachers, the next level. Here's the number that story leaves out. Less than 2% of high school athletes go on to play in college at all, and the money spent chasing that path doesn't come back whether your kid makes it or not. Because that's really what's being bought here. Not lessons, not travel, not a jersey, hope. And hope doesn't show up on a receipt, so nobody adds it up until it's already spent. None of this is about telling you to cancel your kid's birthday party or pull them off the travel team. It's about noticing that you've made 2 financial decisions before your kid is even a teenager, both of them wrapped in the word tradition, neither one ever questioned. Number 8, Black Friday shopping. Camping outside a store overnight to save 40% on a television you weren't planning to buy until you saw the sign. Doorbuster deals that exist specifically to get you inside the building, where the real spending happens on things that were never on sale at all. According to the National Retail Federation's 2025 survey, the average shopper spent $337.86 over the Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday weekend, up from $315.56 the year before. And that's on top of whatever holiday budget they'd already set before the deals showed up.
Here's the trick nobody clocks. A deal only saves you money if you were already going to buy the thing. If you weren't, it's not a discount, it's a new expense wearing a discount's clothes. Do that every year for 10 years, and you're looking at close to $3,400 spent chasing savings that only existed because a store convinced you the countdown clock was the reason to buy, not the item itself. And we're only 3 items in. The next 3 are smaller, but stick with me, because right after that, the numbers stop being cute. Number 7. The Christmas gift exchange. A survey of 2,000 adults who celebrate Christmas found the average person participates in about 6 different gift exchanges a season: family, friends, and coworkers, spending roughly $49 per exchange. That's about $294 a year, every year, on gifts that mostly get returned, regifted, or forgotten by New Year's. Invested instead at an 8% average return for 15 years, that same $294 a year becomes almost $8,000. Ask anyone what they got last Christmas from their aunt. Most people can't tell you. The money was real, the memory wasn't. Number 6, matching vacation extras. The family isn't just going on vacation anymore, they're producing content for it. Matching shirts for the airport photo, coordinated luggage tags, a photographer booked for 1 hour on the beach because the trip needs to look a certain way online. None of this is the vacation, it's the vacation's marketing budget, running $500 to $1,500 a year on top of the actual trip. Invest that instead, and over 10 years it becomes another $14,500. Nobody looks back at their childhood vacation and remembers the matching shirts. They remember whether their parents were relaxed enough to actually be there. Number 5, the annual professional family photo. A photographer, a studio or outdoor session fee, an outfit budget because everyone needs something new and coordinated, prints, a canvas for the wall, and digital copies you already own but somehow have to pay extra to access. One session easily runs $400 to $800. Do it every year for 10 years, and you've spent $4,000 to $8,000 capturing a family that changes so little year to year that half the photos look interchangeable. Here's what nobody tells you when you're booking session number 4. Your phone already has 10,000 photos of these exact kids at this exact age taken for free on a random Tuesday that you'll actually look at again. The professional ones go in a drawer, or worse, into a cloud folder you'll never open, filed under a session date you don't remember either. Number 4, the Disney trip. This is where the math stops being cute and starts being real. Park tickets for a family of 4, a hotel on or near property, park hopper upgrades, character dining, souvenirs your kid forgets about by the time you land back home, and a photo package because the free photos always turn out to need the paid upgrade to actually get the good ones. A single week easily runs $6,000 to $8,000 once everything's added up. Nobody goes because the rides are unmatched. They go because every other family in their social media feed already went, and skipping it feels like admitting your kid is missing something everyone else's kid is getting. Families who make this an annual trip while the kids are young, say 14 years running, aren't just spending $6,500 a year. Invested instead at 8% over those same 14 years, that money becomes roughly $157,000. $157,000 for a tradition most kids remember in fragments, a character they liked, a ride that was too long in line. Kids who go once and go for the right reason remember that trip forever. Kids who go every year remember the trips as one long blur, the same way you don't remember every single Tuesday of your childhood, even though you lived through all of them.
7 down, 3 to go. And the smallest dollar amount left on this entire list is about to earn a spot in the top 3, for reasons that have nothing to do with the money. Number 3, the gender reveal party. I promised you this one, and here it is. A baby's chromosomes, announced with the energy of a 4th of July finale. Colored powder launchers, a smoke machine setup, a professional photographer standing in a field, a cake baker who bakes the batter pink or blue on the inside, printed invitations, and sometimes a rented venue because your living room isn't cinematic enough. Average cost lands somewhere between $650 and $1,200. That's before the just-in-case backup powder canister you buy because you don't trust the first one to actually pop on cue. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. Outside of the mom holding the box, nobody cares. Your uncle isn't losing sleep over whether it's a boy or a girl. Your coworkers are clicking like and moving on with their day.
The only person who has spent weeks planning this, coordinating the colored powder, and picking the venue is the same person who's about to find out anyway in about 4 months, whether she wanted to know today or not. That same $1,000 invested instead of ignited in a powder launcher at an 8% average return, sitting untouched until the kid turns 18, becomes roughly $4,000. I know that number is small compared to what's still coming. That's the point. This item didn't make the top 3 because of the dollar amount. It made the top 3 because it's the purest example on this entire list of spending real money for a moment that means something to exactly one person, dressed up as a celebration for everyone. Number 2, the family cruise. A week-long cruise for a family of 4, a mid-range cabin, the drink package you swore you wouldn't buy and bought anyway, a few excursions at the ports, gratuities, and the inevitable specialty dinner. All in, that's easily $5,000 to $6,000 for 7 days. Do that every year, and here's what it actually costs you. Take that same $5,500 a year and invest it instead at an 8% average return for 20 years until retirement. You don't end up with $110,000, which is just the total you put in. You end up with roughly $252,000 because every dollar you didn't spend on a cruise kept earning money on the money it had already earned. That's not a vacation you're skipping. That's $250,000 you're trading for 10 cruises worth of formal night photos and a drink package you half remember. Nobody's saying skip the cruise. Take it once. Take it for a milestone. What this actually costs you is making it the default every single year without ever running the number. That's the biggest number on this entire list, and it's still not the one that's going to bother you the most. Number 1, the family movie night at the theater. Not the movie itself, the theater. As of 2026, the national average movie ticket runs about $16. 4 tickets for a family of 4 before a single snack is already past $60. Add popcorn, drinks, and whatever your kid talks you into at the counter, and a single outing easily clears $100 to $120. Do that twice a month, and you're spending close to $2,600 a year to sit in a dark room with sticky floors. And here's what makes this one different from every other item on this list. You're not even paying for something good. You're paying full price to watch the 8th movie in a franchise that ran out of ideas 5 movies ago. Another reboot of a reboot, another origin story nobody asked for about a character who already had 3 origin stories, another live-action version of a cartoon you already own on a shelf somewhere. Theaters aren't raising prices because the experience is getting better. They're raising prices because ticket sales have been sliding for years, and somebody has to cover the gap.
Invest that same $2,600 a year instead at an 8% average return for 20 years, and it becomes roughly $120,000. $120,000 spent watching movie studios recycle the same 4 ideas with a bigger marketing budget each time. At least the cruise gets you an actual vacation. At least Disney gets you an actual trip. This one gets you a reclining chair, an $8 soda, and 2 hours of something you'll forget existed by the time you're in the parking lot. Add up our whole list, invested instead of spent, that comes out to roughly $534,000 by retirement. $534,000, not from one bad decision, from 10 normal ones. None of them ever questioned, all of them defended with the same word, tradition. I'm not telling you to cancel Christmas or skip your kid's birthday. I'm telling you that tradition isn't a financial plan. It's a habit nobody's ever priced out loud. Now you have. So tell me, which one did I get wrong? Which one's actually worth it? And what else belongs on this list that I missed?